I bust out rhymes like nobody's business. Hi everyone, I'm Maia from Get Lit Words Ignite, and this is Get Lit Globe, where we interview poets and artists from around the world via webcam. Today we have our first official guest, Olivia Gatwood, who is a brilliant poet and educator. She'll start touring for her new book, Life of the Party, starting September 10th in San Diego. You can buy tickets or find out more information on her website at oliviagatwood.com. Hi, Olivia. I want to say thank you so much for joining. I met you very recently when we were both judging the Classic Slam poetry competition, and I was way too shy to approach you at first. I was very nervous, but I had been like a pretty big fan of yours for a while. So towards the end, I went up and said hi, and I was very flustered, to say the least. So I'm really, really happy that you decided to agree to be on our show. So first of all, I wanted to ask you, if you weren't a poet, what other job would you have? What would you like to be?
So I think I probably would be a teacher. I think I would like to teach high school students.
Well, but and you do teach often, right? You teach poetry,
workshops.
I teach
workshops. But I think I could see myself being maybe like a sex ed teacher or something at like
awesome.
Super progressive school. I don't know.
That would be awesome. I mean, just speaking from personal experience and my teachers in the past, we could use people with more progressive ideas and views. As a poet, do you think that you have a responsibility, like within the spoken word community? I know it's really prevalent to speak out about like political issues and social activism and things like feminism. Do you think that as a poet, you have this sort of responsibility to speak about those things in your work?
I do feel like a sense of responsibility. I've always naturally written about my identity in terms of gender and sexuality. I've always written from a feminist lens. That's just where I come from, and that's what I understand. Even before I had access to like the political language, I was a teenage girl writing about being a teenage girl, which is like inherently political. So like that's where I've always come from. But because I've established that as part of my brand, I think it has become my responsibility to maintain a certain level of like discourse in my public identity. So especially as a white woman, I never want to be neutral, refusing to like acknowledge changes in important changes in language or important elements of intersectionality. And so I think that when you have a following, there is a responsibility to hold your following, I don't know, the word following is weird, but like readership accountable. Sure. So like a lot of my readers are young white women or young white girls. And I think it's important for me as a white woman public figure to be outspoken about the fact that feminism is not just about gender, right? It's also about race, and white women are responsible for a lot of violence, and we have to talk about that. At the same time, I think that there is also this feeling sometimes of like the role model responsibility that's complicated. What's my responsibility as a person on social media? Should I not post pictures of myself? Should I make sure that I'm posting like every element of my life to show that I'm real? And I don't think that's my responsibility, right? Like I don't need to share pictures of myself where I don't feel beautiful if I don't want to, just to prove sometimes I look this certain way or whatever.
Sometimes I do get messages from people who found my video online and they used the word role model. It's this weird line where I don't know if what I'm posting like affects people negatively in some sort of way, or if that's something that I should be taking in mind. If not everything that you're saying is totally the truest experience you've had, or if you just want to make up a poem about something, it's like not, I don't know, they won't be engaged. And it's right. So I don't know, there's always this, in terms of authenticity, if that becomes an issue at any point.
People say like, write what you know. And I don't think that's fully true. I don't think that's
I don't either.
Always, like if I don't only want to write what I know, I also want to explore what I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I want to learn things while I'm writing. And I'm working on a novel right now. So like I'm inherently writing about an experience that is not my own, right? I'm like literally making up a person. But at the same time, I think it can get complex with like things like persona poems and adopting identities that are not our own. Like, I don't think people should adopt marginalized identities that are not their own, right? Yeah. I don't think men should be writing persona poems from the perspective of like women who are experiencing violent sexism.
That's a bit hard to sit through.
Yeah. I don't think white people should be writing persona poems from the perspective of people of color. And so but I also think there's a difference between like fact and truth. And I think sometimes we have an emotional truth that isn't necessarily a fact. The point of poetry, I think, is to like unlock like the truths of the world in a beautiful way. And part of making things beautiful is like changing them a little bit sometimes. And I don't know, I think that's all right. That's part of creativity, but
I agree. No, thank you. Thank you so much. Back to your novel. Can you tell me more about that? That sounds really exciting. What's it about?
Yeah, so I don't actually know how much I'm supposed to like talk about.
Oh, okay. No problem.
I'm working on a novel, and it's kind of related to true crime, which is something I write a lot about. And it's based on a series of murders that happened in the town I grew up in, which was Albuquerque, New Mexico. But I don't know. I'm just chipping away at it. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Sure.
What I have written right now is barely like truly the smallest fraction of the book, and it's as many words as my entire poetry collection is.
Oh my gosh.
So it blows my mind that people write novels. Like, I don't know how the fuck they do it.
Well, you're doing it now, so that's amazing.
I know what I'm doing. It's insane. It's the worst thing I've ever done. So.
or the best thing you've ever done, and I'll be excited to read it when it comes out, when it does. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and just answer right away. Whatever first comes into your head, don't really think about it too hard. And they're a little bit ridiculous, but
I'm ready.
All right. How long do you think you'd survive a zombie apocalypse?
Oh my God, forever.
Do you have any irrational fears?
Yes, mascots.
Do you have any pets, and what's his name?
Dog, Tazo.
What are some things you'd put on your bucket list?
My first thought was like achieve like prime emotional health.
Nice. That is a great answer. If you were to run for office, what would your platform be?
Oh, abolishing prisons.
Nice. I would vote for you. What is your favorite sound?
Oh, well, I was just watching soap cutting videos. Those are good sounds.
I've watched those too, but I tend to not tell people that because I'm going to embarrass. But it's very soothing. Anyways, How many times have you been in love? I don't know.
3.
What's one unique skill that you have?
I can squirt water out of the gaps in my teeth perfectly.
That is impressive. All right, and last but not least, what makes you happiest?
Like being outside when it's sunset and it's warm and I don't have my phone on me.
Good answer. All right, Thank you so much. And to wrap up, I would absolutely love if you could read us your poem.
Yeah, speaking of being outside when it's warm. This is called Dry Season 2003. The bushfire off Long Circular Road has finally found its temper and is barely a whimper, an orange hiccup in the night. Our parents are no longer certain that the blaze will swoop us kids up by the ankles, but as we all know, the dry season does not release its grip just because the burn became civilized. The mountain is raw and transparent, the trees dissolved into black milk, and what happens behind the thick of the rainforest is not a game of Jumanji anymore. The howler monkeys have gone silent, the flock of green parrots too, and the pack of dogs, who usually live amongst them, now wander our yards, tongues flapping, ribs loud against their skin. It is Christmas, but I and my American imagination wouldn't know that based on the fevered sky, the thirsty animals seduced to mainland, our desperation for something wet. Shauna and I jump on a water pipe until it cracks in half and a stream as thick as a can of Coke shoots so high we think for a moment it might never come back down. But it does, in heavy fists on the tops of our heads, and soon we are twice our usual weight in water. What a strange sight, 2 soaked girls wandering a parched city. When the neighbor asks where we found the rain, we do not tell him we released it from the city's veins ourselves, that the drought forced us to build a counterfeit sky, and in its final hours, the sun swells and bursts, and we are nearly dry when we notice that ash is fluttering down like gray snowflakes, and we do as any child would. We catch them in our mouths until our palms and tongues and teeth are black.
Wow. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps. And also, how can we find you online? I know that you've got a new book coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, my new book is called Life of the Party. It's out with the Dial Press and Penguin Random House. You can find it anywhere that you buy books. It's for pre-order right now. It comes out in August. And you can find me on the internet by searching my name. My name is everywhere. Unfortunately, it's very easy to stalk me. Please don't do that.
Thank you so much for being here and speaking with me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching our video. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button below. Make sure to like and comment on our video and let us know what you thought. Also check out our Patreon page, which will be coming soon if you want to support us as artists. If you have any questions, any comments, anything to say about what you liked and didn't like about the video, please let us know. We'll see you next time. Bye. I hit 3 pedestrians with my car once. They're all fine, okay? It would have been a much bigger deal if they, like, walked away. I mean, if they didn't walk away, you know, obviously. I hit a runner once, but they just kept on running. They were, like, really into their exercise. And then I hit a cyclist in Koreatown recently. But they also just kept on going. So, what am I supposed to do? I stopped, you know.